Gladys Knight lifestyle and net worth. Gladys Maria Knight, born on May 28, 1944, and known as the Empress of Soul, is an American singer. A 7-time Grammy Award winner, Knight recorded hits through the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s with her family group, Gladys Knight and the Pips, which included her brother, Merrill Bubba Knight, and cousins, William Guest and Edward Patton. Knight has recorded 2 #1 Billboard Hot 100 singles, Midnight Train to Georgia, as well as That's What Friends Are For, which she did with Dionne Warwick, Sir Elton John, and Stevie Wonder, 11 #1 R&B singles and 6 #1 R&B albums. She has won 7 Grammy Awards, 4 as a solo artist, and 3 with the Pips, and is an inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Vocal Group Hall of Fame along with the Pips. 2 of her songs, I Heard It Through the Grapevine and Midnight Train to Georgia, were inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame for historical, artistic, and significant value. She also recorded the theme song for the 1989 James Bond film, License to Kill. Rolling Stone magazine ranked Knight among the 100 greatest singers of all time. She is also a recipient of the National Medal of Arts and Kennedy Center honors. Gladys Knight has a net worth of approximately $8 million. She is 5 feet 4 inches tall, which is equivalent to 1.61 meters tall. That being said, let's sing. Gladys Knight early life. Knight was born in Atlanta to Merrill Woodlow Knight Sr., a postal worker, and Sarah Elizabeth. She has a sister, Brenda, 1 living brother, Merrill Bubba Knight, and 1 deceased brother, David Billy Knight. Throughout the late 1940s and early 1950s, she sang in the church choir. She won Ted Mack's The Original Amateur Hour TV show contest on July 1, 1952, at the age of 8. That same year, Gladys, her brother Bubba, sister Brenda, and their cousins, Eleanor and William Guest, began performing together during Bubba's 10th birthday party after a record player malfunctioned. Soon, the quintet agreed to form a group at the urging of Gladys' mother, Elizabeth Knight. The group settled on the name, the Pips, inspired by the nickname of their cousin, James Pip Woods. By 1955, the group entered the talent show circuit in their hometown of Atlanta, winning each talent show they entered. Their success brought them a record contract with Brunswick Records in 1957. At Brunswick, the group released 2 recordings that failed to chart. Despite this, the group was now opening for top R&B acts such as Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke. By 1959, Brunswick dropped the group, and both Brenda Knight and Eleanor Guest left the Pips to begin families. They were replaced by another cousin, Edward Patton, and a friend, Langston George. In 1961, they recorded the Johnny Otis penned Every Beat of My Heart. Lacking a record label, a local Atlanta label, Huntum Records, pushed the single and got a distribution deal with VJ Records to release it. The group moved to New York, where they auditioned for Bobby Robinson's Fury Records. Upon learning that Every Beat of My Heart was already becoming a hit but had cut the group out of profits, Robinson had the Pips re-record the song and release it on Fury Records. Both versions made the Billboard charts, with the Huntum/VJ version reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Prior to the re-release on Fury Records, the group changed their name to Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight Real Estate and Legacy. In 1997, Gladys paid $695,000 for a home in Las Vegas, Nevada. She sold this home in 2018 for $720,000. The home was reportedly hard to sell because it had quite a few customizations, such as a recording studio in the basement. She continued to own a home on a golf course in nearby Henderson, Nevada. In 2007, Gladys bought a 20-acre farm in Fairview, North Carolina. In 1996, Gladys Knight and the Pips were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 1 year before, Knight had received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2007, Knight received the Society of Singers ELLA Award, at which time she was declared the Empress of Soul. She is listed on Rolling Stone's list of the greatest singers of all time. In 2021, Knight received the National Medal of Arts. And, in 2022, Knight received a Kennedy Center honor. In 1976, Knight made her acting debut as the lead in the film, Pipe Dreams, for which she was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year/Actress. In 2003, she had a small role in the movie, Hollywood Homicide, which starred Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett. In 2009, Knight was featured in Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All By Myself, the film version of a play he had dramatized, and performed her song, The Need to Be, from the 1974 album, I Feel a Song. Gladys Knight personal life. Knight has been married 4 times and has 3 children. At 16 years old, she became pregnant and married Atlanta musician and classmate, James Jimmy Newman, in 1960. She had a miscarriage, but the couple went on to have 2 children. Newman became a drug addict and abandoned the family when Knight was 20. They remained married for over 12 years until 1973. Their son, James Jimmy Gaston Newman III, was born on August 13, 1962. She retired from the road to raise their child while the Pips toured on their own. In November 1963, Knight had her only daughter, Kenya Maria Newman. Later she returned to recording with the Pips in order to support her family. In the early 1960s, Gladys, James, and the Pips moved to Detroit. Knight and her family lived on Sherborne Road in Sherwood Forest, an upscale neighborhood on Detroit's west side. She resided on LaSalle Avenue for a time. Her children attended Gissou Catholic Grade School. After being separated for 7 years, Knight divorced Newman in 1973, and he died a few years later. In 1974, Knight married Barry Hankerson, who created Blackground Records, the label that signed his niece, the R&B singer, Aaliyah, to a record deal in Detroit. The couple had 1 son, Shanga Ali Hankerson, born on August 1, 1976. Around 1977, they relocated to Atlanta. The Pips remained in Detroit. Their marriage ended in 1979 with a prolonged custody battle over their son. Knight spent over $1 million looking for her son after he was kidnapped. In 1995, Knight married motivational speaker Les Brown, but they separated and divorced in 1997. Knight suffered through a gambling addiction that lasted more than a decade. In the late 1980s, after losing $60,000 in one night at the baccarat table, she joined Gamblers Anonymous, which helped her quit the habit. Previously a Baptist and later a Catholic, in 1997, she was baptized into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, following her son and daughter leaving Catholicism to join. She had occasionally teased LDS President Gordon Hinckley, saying his flock needed to inject some pep into their music. He agreed, which resulted in the Grammy Award-winning Saints Unified Voices Gospel Music Choir being formed. Knight later led the B1 Choir at B1 40th Anniversary Celebration of the Revelation on the Priesthood. Knight's son, Jimmy Newman, managed her career through his Newman Management Incorporated until his death from heart failure on July 10, 1999, at age 36. Newman was survived by his wife, Michigan Eileen, daughters, Nastasia and Gabrielle, and sons, Rishon, Stephan, and Sterling. Knight married William McDowell in 2001. They have 17 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren between them. Knight and McDowell reside in Fairview, North Carolina, near where they own a community center, the former Reynolds High School in Asheville attended by McDowell. In 2017, Knight helped raise $400,000 for the Children's Learning Centers of Fairfield County. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel for such interesting content.